We're here today with Marcia Calder, who is the founder of Indigrow, which is a foundation that was started to help indigo children and their parents, particularly helping them to work with these gifted children in a way that will support them in their gift and help them to feel more at ease with the gifts that they have. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm here today with Sylvia Brallier, a healer, friend, but she's also been a wonderful mentor and has worked with my children on many occasions, and I really value her opinion.
We both have a real concern about, what it's like to grow up gifted. As I myself had that experience of having the sight early on, and it has its challenges, but so many gifts once you learn how to work with them.
Absolutely.
There's so many different kinds of gifts that children have, and what ones do you feel that have you've witnessed in your own children?
It's run the gamut with my own children, from seeing people who are deceased, people who have crossed over, so to speak, the angelic realm. They've also talked about communicating with animals and also having healing capabilities. It seems to be something new almost all the time as they grow and change and explore, and they almost awaken to new opportunities and new possibilities.
So I understand that your kids also have prophetic gifts, some of them as well.
Yes, we do have some gift of prophecy among our children, and with a degree of accuracy, which is really uncanny, especially when my daughter was quite young. She could give some very specific information as to natural disasters that were impending, and even some of the emotional fallout for some of the campus tragedies that we've experienced in this country. She has perceived that taking place as well.
The interesting thing is, though, with this, any psychic gift, particularly like the gift of prophecy, on one hand, that's a wonderful thing, and on the other, it has some very real challenges. And I was wondering if you could speak to that a little bit about the gifts and the difficulties of having psychic ability.
Yes, it can be a challenge, particularly when the children are younger and they want to speak about it. And that's one of the reasons I created Indigrow, was to create a support community, because there is value in being able to share this with other people. And it's really kind of neat when you think about, wow, they can talk to these people and they can see these things. Yes, but at times it creates a lot of stress for the kids to have these experiences. They can feel really powerless. They can feel that they need to be doing something, but they don't know what or where, because it's not like a news report that comes through to them. They may get bits and pieces of information. They may get a sense of an area, or they may get a sense of the type of tragedy, but not always does it come together for them. So what we've worked to do is to empower them to just think positive thoughts and to send their love, their energy, and their prayers into that particular situation. And that seems to help them. Otherwise, it tends to monopolize their thoughts, and they get very panicked, because these feelings and these sensations often accompany the things that they see. So not only are they seeing the tragic circumstances taking place, but they're also feeling it. They're feeling the pain, they're feeling the energy of sadness or whatever that's revolving around it. And it's a real disembodied feeling for them, because it's not their own. They're channeling it from somewhere else. So we tend to work through that situation to let them know that it's not them, it's not happening to them, it's not about them, but they can send support, and that helps to empower them and move them through it.
To be able to take that one step back and to be able to observe, compassionately observe, without becoming or self-identifying with. And I think this is particularly an issue with people that are empathic, or children that are empathic, because an empath tends to feel the feelings of others and often can't tell the difference between themselves and another person.
Right, and you've been very helpful, since you have that gift yourself. You've been very helpful in working with my son Brad in that area, and have really worked to empower him to separate the distance, or the difference between who he is and the energy of whatever it is he's taking on, or the other individual he's in contact with. And that's been very, very helpful because it really tormented him for quite a time. It was very painful for him, and he stuck very close to just a few people because that way he was kind of sheltered.
Right, so people's energy that he trusted, that he felt secure with.
Mm-hmm.
So it was tended to create some isolation for him. So isolation, would you say, is a one side effect of being empathic sometimes?
Yes, I think so. In the case of my son, he chose that not because he was lonely or felt strange or left out of the loop. He's a very social person. He's a very fun-loving guy, has a lot of friends, but there are some times with his abilities and his tendency to be empathic, he needed to learn to control that. And that's where you helped him find that switch to turn it on and turn it off. So I think of him like a taxi. The light is on and he's working, and the light is off and he needs to be left alone. And that has really helped him move on and has broadened his experiences.
Yeah, it's so wonderful to be able to give tools to people so that they don't have to suffer with their gifts, that they can not only learn how to manage them to give them the best benefit, but also to learn how to moderate some of the difficult aspects. I want to go back to something you said a little bit earlier about the importance of being witnessed. And I think that I'm really interested with your work with Indigo about how you can help parents to be better parents to gifted children, because there's a certain amount we can help the children, but I think that by helping the parents, you are going to assist the children the most, because those are the people that are in constant contact with that. And I was wondering if you could speak to that a little bit.
Absolutely. I feel most drawn to help the parents because I've found over time that the kids that have these abilities, that have these psychic sensitivities, are born that way, but they also have the coping mechanism to handle those gifts as well. And that is something that I've come to learn in meeting these children and also working with my own children. And I think what we tend to do as parents is we tend to be fixers. And we want to say, okay, honey, you're upset. This has got to go away. This has got to stop. And I'm the one to do it for you. And I don't feel that that's necessarily the best way to go. Maybe when they have a bump on the knee, you're great there with a Band-Aid and a kiss, and that's great. And in this situation, I think it's best for parents to, first of all, not panic and to not come forth with a judgment or an opinion about what's taking place with their child, but to simply listen to them, because it's very, very relieving to the children to know they have someone they can go to, and they can just simply tell them what's happening without any type of comment, because there are many, many instances where I cannot see it, I cannot hear it, I cannot feel what my children are going through, but it is no less real for them based on what I'm taking in. I have nothing to do with it. It's their experience. They just need someone to tell about it. And that's when I started to do the journaling for the kids, because that was helpful, and we could kind of go back and take a look at it, because oftentimes the information was coming through to them and they weren't even really aware of what was being said. And that was very helpful to go back and then kind of take a look at it and make put a little perspective on it, and they could draw some pictures to go with it and things like that. But first and foremost, you just need to be there as a support and to just listen.
Yeah. Because really, reality is subjective. So trying to tell someone else what their experience is not all that helpful. Just being able to be present. I know that for me, when I was a child, I had the sight, and I remember one time standing by the window and saying, "Mom, look at that," and explaining what I saw. And she said to me, "Sylvia, I don't see what you see, but I believe you."
And that's very, very important.
And that was all that I needed. I wasn't being told that I was lying. I wasn't being told that I'm making it up. I wasn't being told that I was imagining it. I was told that I was believed.
Mm-hmm.
And that made all the difference in the world to me.
Absolutely. And that's very, very important. And I think that makes the difference between a child with these abilities being fearful and being empowered. It's just the fact that they have somebody who understands